today, just because everybody's sort of ranting and raving about it, we're going to go into N8N. N8N is an AI automation platform that allows you to sort of tap into this AI agentic stuff in a no-code way, which is, you know, all the rave right now. But this isn't going to be the only thing that we're going to tap on the channel. So there's going to be other things as well. But for the time being, let's just do it with this, okay? So the first thing you do, and you'll notice this process, it's pretty cool. But you go here, and then it asks you. So you have an event that you can trigger manually. You have an appointment, on-app event rather, on schedule, and all this stuff, like I said, might be foreign for now, but it'll all start to make sense. So what I'm going to start with for the purpose of this example is on chat message, okay? So there's not much that you have to do. You just click there, and now we have this, okay? This is what's known as a node, okay? This thing over here. So once we have that, we can open the chat. This allows us to speak. Nothing's going to happen, but if I say hello, you know, it worked, right? You notice how it came back green. So that means that it's working. We now need to connect it to something. And what I like about N8N is it really makes it simple. So you have advanced AI. You click that. You click the AI agent, okay? And what that's gonna then do is you don't have to change anything here, okay, for the purpose of this example, because the chat, anything that you write here is gonna output here, okay? And this will make sense in a moment. This is now your agent, okay? Now the agent, just like a human, requires a couple things. So the first thing is we need to add an OpenAI or any AI chat model. So the brain, this is the thing that's going to help it make sense of it and understand what it is that you're actually saying. So for the purpose of this example, let's just use OpenAI. So I click it and I already have an account set up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new one. So this way you sort of know how to do this. Okay. So let's go here and let's see, we're going to click create new credential. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to go to platform.openai.com. If you don't have an account already, you're going to go there, you're going to make an account, and then within there, as you can see on my screen, there's going to be an API key section, okay? And that's what we want. The API key essentially is the way that you're going to connect various platforms and or applications. So I know it seems complicated, but the world of AI and automation mainly is just a game of saying, okay, it'd be really cool if I could use Gmail for this, I could use Instagram for that, maybe some web searching for this, and you sort of think about it like cooking. You create this recipe, and in fact, that's a word that they use often in this space, but you sort of create this recipe where you take these different items and you put it together and you just sort of allow your creativity to fly and see wherever it takes you. Now, with that being said, though, what you're going to do is, so for instance, once you create this API key, that is now going to allow you to connect to that application, which in this case is OpenAI, anywhere else. So for example, in this case, we're going to bring it into the N8N platform because we want to use it as part of the brain for the AI agent that we're creating. So for example, we're going to say AI agent tutorial, okay? Project N8N, create secret. So now it's giving you this. And by the way, I don't work, you know, you never want to share this. And they always say this in videos. I'm going to delete this key after anyways, because people can then use it and you'll pay for it, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to have to delete it after. So again, let's just go back. I got the API key. I copied it. Okay. You can write it down somewhere safely so you don't have to continuously do this. And I just simply paste it and I hit save. Boom. Okay. And now I'm just going to rename it. In our case, tutorial key, just for me, just so I know. Okay. So now we're good. And we're going to get out of this. And now we've connected. Okay, so now I'm connected to this, which means that the AI agent has a brain. Now I can rename it to make it simple. Okay, I could say Bob. Agent Bob. Again, it all depends. This is just a very simple, basic way so you guys understand and learn. The next thing is memory. Memory is important because, you know, like for example, if I say something now, hey Bob, my name is Jack. Oops, hold on. Let's not do memory. So memory is not connected. So it says, hi, Jack, what can I help you with today? So because memory is not connected, I'm going to say, hey, what's my name? Again, sounds like that song, huh? And it's going to say, I'm sorry, I don't have access to personal information. So I actually provided it, but as you can notice, it has no context window. So basically it has no ability to remember. But when you connect memory, for instance, like this, you double click and now it automatically creates a session ID from the conversation. So anything that's happening or will happen, it'll remember. So in this case, like you could do 10, 15, whatever. This is in reference to how many messages. So depending on what you're using this agent for. But for the video, just, I don't know, you could do 20. Okay. So that means it's going to remember our conversation history for 20 messages. Now, by the way, guys, I will be showing you in the future how to create virtually infinitial memory, but this is really just sort of the easiest way to do it, to be honest with you. And then you have the ability to add tools. So tools are other applications and things. So for instance, let's think, what would we want to do here? Okay. For the purpose of tools. And again, I just want to simply show you how to use a very easy way to sort of connect an AI agent. Okay. But as you can see, there's a bunch of tools. And if the tool's not listed, for instance, you're able to actually bring in tools. And that's something I'll do and cover in other videos with you guys as well. Okay. So in terms of tools, let's do email. Okay. So let's do send email. Now I have an account, but we're going to create a new credential and let's see, you know what? Actually, let's not do this. Let's see if they have Gmail. One second. And by the way, I like to freestyle these videos because I feel like, one of the big things in this sort of, in this field is you're going to be doing a lot of problem solving. And let me tell you how many times I'd be in the middle of something, I'd feel like I figured it out, then boom, a problem pops up and then I got to, figure it out. And you got to persevere, you got to stick with it, and you got to get to the point where you get comfortable. And as you do that, it'll start to make sense. So even if I make mistakes here, it's all good. So perfect. I do not have a Gmail credential. So if you have a Gmail account, I'm going to show you how you connect with it. Okay. So what it does is it's got an Auth 2. Auth 2 is basically a way of creating a security layer, ensuring that, I have to literally connect to the API in a way in which it's only going to be me that connects to it. This is because obviously with something sensitive like email and stuff like that, I'm sure you can just imagine what could happen, right? If it gets into the wrong hands. So no problem. Here's what we do. The website that you want to go to, I'll just go to Google to start it off. You're going to go to Google and you're going to Google Console. Okay? It's actually Google Cloud Console. Okay? And what we're going to do now is we're going to create this new key. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go to APIs and services. This is where you're going to find all the APIs, all the different keys to all the different applications that Google's offers, which by the way, there's a bunch. And as you can see, these are things that I've been using, but I'm going to make a new connection here for our purpose. So we're going to go to credentials and we're going to go to create credentials and we're going to go to OAuth client ID. Okay. This is very important. Then for application type, it's always going to be web application. And then what you want to do is you want to go here, authorized redirect URL. You click it. And what's awesome is when I go here, it actually already has it. I click to copy and I simply, oops, not that one. And I paste it right here. Okay. Now, by the way, I'm going to delete this after, so it doesn't matter. But you copy the client ID as I did. Okay. So you saw that client ID. And then you have something known as the client secret. I've copied that too. And you just simply paste it here. And then the last thing is you sign in with Google to give it permissions. So you go to that. So that's the email I'm connecting to. Continue. Select all to allow all the permissions. Continue. Boom. I got a notification. We're good to go. Okay. So now that we have that, I have different tools and options that I can choose from based on this. So for example, let's say resource, message, send, get, da 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 da. So if I'm using an agent, okay, what I can then do is I can either have it write specific emails for me. So for example, here, we'll just do send, and I'll send it to myself, okay, to one of my emails. Salient, by the way, is the automation agency, AI automation agency that I co-founded, that I'm the CTO of. So I don't mind giving myself the plug. Feel free to go to the website, check us out. And if you have any actual questions with relation to builds and stuff like that, let me know. So for subject, this is a test. We're going to do email type HTML. That's basically that really nice, pretty stuff. And then because we're connected to this, what I can do, I'll add one more thing just to show you guys. So you can go to something called SERP. Again, in tools, go to SERP. It's a Google search. Okay. Now I have an account, but I'm going to go to Google again over here. SERP API. Oops. SERP API. So you just Google SERP API. You click this, or no, my bad. That's search. SERP. Okay. You click this. You make an account by registering. Once you sign in, there's an API key. Got it? And then you simply go here, create new credential, you pop in the API key, and you're good to go. Okay? And what that's going to do for you is now your agent has access to the internet. That's pretty cool because now all of a sudden it can do things that a traditional agent may not be able to. Okay? So now with all that being in play, in the message, we're going to do this. So what's really cool with N8N is these options now. So this part I'm going to have hard coded in because just for testing, I want it to go to me. But for stuff like the subject, I'm going to click that little star stuff. And that means the AI agent is actually going to decide autonomously what subject to make. And then it's also going to choose what the message is going to be. So it's pretty cool, okay? So again, I know it's a lot, but this is just the beginning. So here's what we're gonna do. You go here and you say, let's just do a quick test. Hey, how's it going? So we're gonna test certain things. Okay, that's cool. And by the way, normally when you go to Agent Bob, you would go here and you would put in what's known as a system prompt. A system prompt basically defines the role, the tasks, the steps of the agent. So for example, you are this, you're responsible for that. This is how you would do it. And these are the tools. I'm going to leave it blank. Okay. And I'm just going to keep it as you are a useful assistant. And as we go on and I make more of these videos, I'll go into depth with you, but you can even add other deeper messages and really do some cool, interesting things with prompting. So back to Agent Bob. Okay, that's cool. Just wondering, what's the weather like in Toronto today? By the way, normally they don't come with the day, okay? So you can actually put that into the prompt. I didn't, but in this case, I'm just going to put it in the message, okay? So today is March 28th, 2025. Let's see what he says. Okay, so you see that he's gone to SERP. You notice I didn't tell him to go to SERP, meaning I didn't tell him to do the Google search. Okay, he did it on its own. So all I did was this message here came from this box and went to the agent over here, and then he made the decision on what to do. So right now he has two sets of tools. He has access to send emails, okay, from one of my email accounts. And the other thing is he has the ability to connect to the internet, and then he has memory, and he's got OpenAI ChatGPT. So it's given me the weather, but for the sake of keeping it Canadian, because we're not good at Fahrenheit, let's say, what's that in Celsius? And then you'll get to the point that I'm making. Okay, so it's 2 degrees. Cool, seems about right. Cool, thanks, Bob. Listen, I'm a realtor, and I've got a client that likes Toronto condos. They need insight for the purpose of knowing what's happening in the market. Prepare a quick yet comprehensive, I don't know if that works, but let's see, report with details on the latest happenings, specifically the condo market in the CO1 pocket. Once done, show me an example, and then I will approve it to be emailed as an HTML. Okay, so here's what I'm doing here, and I know it seems like kind of a lot, but I'm just kind of wrapping this up. I wanted to test, I wanted to show. Okay, cool. Thanks, Bob. Listen, I'm a realtor. I've got a client that likes Toronto condos. They need insight for the purpose of knowing what's happening in the market. Prepare a quick yet comprehensive report with details on the latest happenings, specifically the condo market and the CO1 pocket. So for those of you that don't know, that's central Toronto or whatever. That's like that main pocket. Once done, show me an example of the prepared email, and then I will approve it to be emailed as an HTML. Okay, boom. Let's see what he does. So he's gone to SERP. That's good. So he's doing some research. And again, this is like the most basic way to do this. And I'm just doing this for the purpose of example. But as we go on, I'll show you deeper insights on how to do this. Okay. So it's given me some feedback. Okay. And it's given me a sample email here of what will go out. Now, by the way, this is an HTML. This is why it looks like this. And I used a very generic prompt, and I didn't give it enough tools to give it like a crazy amount of data access, but it's not bad. So you want to have experience notable trends, seasonally slower trends, da-da-da-da-da. Awesome. Okay. They love data and are huge on it. Let's ensure we load it with specific data points, as I believe in providing maximum value to clients. Kindly revise it as requested. Again, I'm speaking robotically to it, but basically you're just talking to it. And that's what's actually interesting, that the world is now changing. We went from a time where we had to know how to speak the computer's language, which was code and all this stuff and symbols and letters and all this shit that was really hard to sort of understand, I would say, for the average person, to now we're crossing this territory where we're going into a world where computers and us are going to be speaking a mutual language. So it's almost like, imagine the way you would speak to a friend or a colleague and saying, hey, can you do this, this, and that? And they actually do it. That's kind of the same thing that's now going to happen. And this will revolutionize quite a bit. So look, so this is the answer that I now got back. This is an example of that email. So the number of new condo listings has risen by approximately 15% compared to the previous month. There are currently around 300 condos available. Now, by the way, I'm not even connected to MLS, and I want to be specific because that is something I'm going to be introducing and doing. So the fact that I'm not even connected to MLS, and this is all just coming to us from Google, and there's other deeper research methods. By the way, this is just a very simple way just to get you guys excited, to show you the potential, okay? So 300 condos available on the market, sales have decreased, So like for a weekly update, this is pretty cool, I would say, in my opinion. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, looks great, Bob, send it out, email it, or let's say email it just in case. Email it. Okay, boom. Now what it should do is hit the Gmail send. Okay, it's thinking. I said send it. Let's see what happens. It's cool because I don't have to give it specific instructions. It's kind of just doing it, which I like. As the email now comes in, just give it a sec. I will show you what it looks like. And then that way you'll know exactly what the potential and possibilities are. So here it is. Let me pull it in and let's take a look. Okay. Now again, I've not tweaked it. I've not done anything to this. If I was really doing this, I would spend some time and I will do all that with you guys as we go on here. But just for the purpose of showing you, here, it's given us some pretty good details, some pretty good information, some pretty decent data that you can now just literally share, that I had nothing to do. Like if this was just set up for me and available, and it was as simple as sending a text to like an assistant, like, hey, blah, 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 put some data together for our clients and send it out. Pretty damn cool. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is the first of many to come, and provide feedback. And I want this to grow, and I want to educate, and I want you guys to learn because the future is bright. In the comments, let me know, and click to the Skool community, and I'll be putting stuff like this up there as well, especially the tutorials along with the templates. Okay.